Good morning, everyone. And today we're entering in Mdina, the silent city of Malta again, and we'll be entering from the backside of the city. Today I'm trying out the sirui 35mm AURORA 1.4. Again, it's my weapon for street photography. I'll be doing some day to night shots, and I'm going to show you this incredible way to upgrade your images. I won't be doing black and white today, guys. I'll be doing a color shot day to night. We have all these amazing alleyways in this silent city. And I'm going to take you to a place where I think you'll like, and we'll be editing that particular image. The only problem is I have to find it. Well, this is the shot, everyone, I told you about, and we'll be turning from day to night. I'm gonna have to crop out a bit of the sky here. We've got lots of tourists here today. Well, it's like this every day, everyone. And these lanterns here, we have 1, 2, and 3. I'll be lighting them up as if they had a light bulb inside. So this is the shot, guys. I'm going to take an image, and I'll see you all back in the studio. Well, here we are, everyone, in the studio, and this is the image we captured. We'll be turning this into a night shot, a day to night shot. So bear with me, guys, till the end of the video, and you'll see the amazing results. So first thing I'm going to start off with is I'm going to straighten out the image, and I'm going to just click on auto here on the A. And that should be okay. It's enough for me. I'm going to go back here, reduce the image size just a bit. And here our aim is to start off with the light panel here and work our way down through the other settings here. I'm going to reduce the highlights. I'm going to increase just a touch of shadows. Increase the whites. And we'll be adding some contrast by doing this. And increase the blacks as well until I see clippings on the histogram. And I'm going to give it just a touch of contrast, since we already done it with the white and black sliders. And now I'm going to reduce the exposure quite a bit now to around there for now, and then we'll come back later. Next, I'm going to head down to the effects panel. I'm going to give it some texture to around there. A touch of clarity, and I'm going to even give it a bit of dehaze. I'm going to head down to the detail panel. I am going to increase the sharpening quite a bit, up to 60. I always reduce the radius, increase the detail, hold down your Alt key on your keyboard and increase the masking slider to around there. And that's where the sharpening will be. I'm going to head back up to the light panel and remove the clippings here on the blacks. And that should be okay. Next, I'm going to head down to the calibration, and this is where I turn up the color of the image. And all I use is just the blue primary here and increase the saturation to around halfway or just a bit more. That should be okay. And next, I'm going to head down to the color grading, guys. And here, I'm going to start off with the shadows. And I'm going to increase the hue all the way up to the blues. And I'm going to increase the saturation to around 12. And next, I'm going to increase the blending. We'll be blending in the colors even more like this. And you can see the color is becoming much better. Next, I'm going to use the highlights. And I'm going to do the same, but the hues, I'm going to increase them just till around here. So we get that golden touch on the image. And I'm going to increase the saturation also to around there. Now I'm going to head over to the cropping tool here. I'm going to crop out the sky like I told you when we were on location to around there. We don't want any of that sky. But we're going to correct these light patches here though. That should be okay. Gonna head back out, reduce the image size a bit. And now I'm gonna head over to the masking, everyone. And I'm gonna start with the linear gradient. And I'm gonna place it on at an angle like this. Like I said in the on location, I use the new sirui lens, the 35mm. I'm using it for my street photography, and I'm going to leave a link down below in the description where you can click on it and check out for yourself. And you can use the promo code also. Now here I'm going to reduce the exposure to around there. I'm going to tilt it straighten it out. Sorry. I'm going to reduce to around there. Because don't forget, guys, this was gonna be a night shot. And here I'm gonna use another radial gradient, and I'm gonna place it just over the bit of the foreground here. And I'm gonna reduce the exposure just a touch. And now I'm gonna go over to the radial gradient, and I'm gonna cover just a touch over here to darken them light patches just a bit more to around there. And that should be okay. I'm going to head over to the masking again, and I'm going to use the brush. I'm going to increase the size. Make sure your feathering is up to 100. I'm going to reduce a touch of exposure. I'm going to click away around here. And I'm going to try and darken the alleyway. Just like that. I'm going to reduce the exposure just a bit more. Going to increase it a bit. I went a bit too far. And that should be okay. Next, guys, I'm going to start with the fun part now. And I'm going to use a radial gradient. I'm going to place the radial gradient inside this lantern here. Like that. I'm going to open it up a bit more. And I'm going to increase the exposure all the way up. And there we've created the light bulb. I'm going to give it a touch of color. Not too much. I'm going to open it up a bit more. But now I'm going to reduce the subtract. I'm going to use a brush. And I'm going to remove the top part. Like this. And that should be okay. I'm going to duplicate the mask here. Just click in the middle. And then we get a brighter light bulb. Next, I'm going to head over to the radial gradient again. And I'm going to place it just like if the light was shining here on this wall. Just under like this here. I'm going to reduce it a bit. And I'm going to increase the exposure. Just like that. Going to open it up a bit more. But again, I'm going to subtract with a brush. And I'm going to remove the top part also from here. Just like that. Next, I'm going to use another radial gradient. And we're going to do these for the other two lanterns also. And I'm going to place it right under the lantern here. And I'm going to increase the exposure. And I'm going to give it a touch of color. Because the light bulb is yellowish. And we got to make the light yellowish also. To around there. I'm going to decrease the exposure just a touch. Should be okay. And I'm going to do the same for the other lanterns here. But here I'm going to have to zoom in a bit. And we're going to do the same for this lantern here. You can see the lens is really sharp here, guys. I'm going to use a radial gradient like before. And now the trick here, guys, is not to make the lamp, the light bulb too bright. Because the further away the lamp posts or lanterns, the dimmer the light will be. I'm going to open it up a bit more. And I'm going to subtract with a brush and remove the top part here. Should be okay. I'm going to click in the middle here. I'm going to duplicate there, but I'm going to reduce the exposure just a bit. And that should be okay. Next, I'm going to use another radial gradient, guys. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to place it on the wall here.
somewhat like this. And I'm going to increase the exposure also. But again, I'm going to subtract it with a brush and remove the top part here. Just like that. And I'm going to give it a touch of color, yellowish color. That should be okay. I'm going to zoom out a bit now, guys. And here I'm going to create another radial gradient, and we're going to place it below the lamppost here, the lantern. Somewhere like that. Gonna open it up a touch. My dog Luna is barking again. Here I'm gonna increase the exposure and increase the temperature to get that yellowish effect. And that should be okay. So here we've created another lantern. We lit it up, and I'm going to do the same for the other lantern at the back here. I'm going to need to zoom in quite a bit. This lens is incredibly sharp. And here I'm going to go to the mask, create mask, radial gradient, and I'm going to do the same for this light here, this lantern here. We're in a medieval city here. It's called the Silent City. And it's full of these alleyways and lanterns. And they even say it's haunted also. Gonna give it a touch of color, not too much. Gonna open it up just a touch. And I'm gonna subtract with a brush again. Just like that. I'm gonna use a radial gradient. I'm not gonna duplicate the lantern here, the mask, since it's the furthest lantern, and we have to keep the glow of the lamp a bit less. I'm going to place another mask here, and always make sure this, you can see this sign here, the Medina, it's a restaurant, is closer to us than the lantern is. So if we get some light spilled over here, we have to remove it. And I'm going to increase the exposure. Just like that. It's not going to make that much difference. I'm going to give it a touch of color. But I'm going to reduce like this. And I'm going to subtract with a brush and remove it from the sign here. Just like that. Now I'm going to zoom out, guys. And I'm going to place another radial gradient just under the lantern here. Just around there. It should be okay. I'm going to increase the exposure. Color. Again, to get that yellowish look. And there we have our lanterns all lit up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the image size. Just a touch, guys. And now I'm going to use another radial gradient, and I'm going to darken. I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to darken this wall here even more. going to reduce the exposure. And I'm going to click away like that. Should be okay. Going to reduce the exposure just a touch. And that should be okay. Now I'm going to use a radial gradient, guys, and I'm going to create a vignette here. I always make a natural vignette. I'm going to place it in the center of the alleyway here. I'm going to invert it, and I'm going to reduce the exposure. That should be okay. What I'm going to do, the last thing, I'm going to use a brush, or else I can use a linear gradient. I'm going to place it just like that here on this wall. And I'm going to reduce the exposure. And that should be great. I'm going to do the same for this part here also. Correct me, guys, if I'm leaving something out, because we've got to make it as natural as possible into a night shot. Should be great. Reduce a bit of exposure. And that should be great. Well, there we have it, guys. I can go much further, but the video is going to take really long. And one more thing, I'm going to use the last radial gradient, because I'm remembering now. I've edited this image before. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to place it at the back on this, I don't know if it's a tree or bush. And I'm going to increase just a touch of exposure. Like that. But I'm going to remove with a subtract brush from the lantern here. And there we have it. That's much better. Well, there we have it, guys. We have a day to night shot. You can see it's worked out great. Try and use this color grading. It's a great tool here, and you get a really fantastic image. One more thing I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to try out the curve tool here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on here and increase. Just like that. I'm going to make an S shape. I'm going to leave it somewhere like that. Well, there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any comments below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, a thumbs up, and please share the video. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.